Welcome to my channel. Before this story begins, take a deep breath because this is not a loud story. This is the story of a father who found his son again after the son had already left home. The morning after the wedding felt strange. The house was not broken or damaged, but something important was missing. The father woke up early, the same time he had woken up for years. His body followed the routine, but his heart felt confused. He waited for a sound that never came. No footsteps, no door opening. No familiar voice saying good morning. Silence filled the house, and it felt heavier than noise. He walked into the kitchen and started preparing tea. Without thinking, he placed 2 cups on the counter. When he realized what he had done, he stopped. He stared at the second cup for a long moment, then quietly poured the tea back. Small habits take the longest time to disappear. He sat at the dining table alone, looking at the empty chair in front of him, trying to convince himself that this was normal. Sons grow up, sons get married, sons leave. He had told himself this many times before, but today those words felt harder to accept. Later that day, he decided to clean the house. Keeping busy helped him avoid thinking too much. When he reached his son's room, he paused. He had not entered it since the wedding. The door was open and the room looked exactly the same, as if time had stopped there. The bed was neatly made. The study table was clean. Everything was in its place, yet nothing felt alive. He opened the cupboard to organize things. Old books were stacked at the back, covered in dust. School notebooks, files, and forgotten items waited silently. As he pulled one stack forward, a thin notebook slipped from his hands and fell to the floor. He picked it up slowly. The cover was old and slightly torn. Written on it in uneven handwriting were the words, "My school diary." The father sat down on the bed and opened the diary carefully. The first page made his lips curve into a soft smile. It read, "My name is Ahmed. I want to become a good man. I want my parents to be proud of me." His chest felt warm and heavy at the same time. He turned the page and childish drawings filled the paper. A small house, a bright sun, and 2 stick figures holding hands. He recognized himself immediately. As he kept reading, memories returned one by one. On one page, his son had written about learning how to ride a bicycle and falling many times, but how his father laughed instead of getting angry. The father smiled faintly as he remembered that day clearly. Scraped knees, small tears, and loud laughter filling the street. On another page, his son had written about a day when the father came home tired but still helped with homework. That smile slowly faded. Each page felt personal, honest, and raw. There were no big words, no dramatic sentences, just simple thoughts written by a child who felt loved. Then he reached a page written years later, when the handwriting was rougher. It said, "I argued with Abba today. I didn't mean to hurt him." The father closed his eyes. He remembered that argument. The harsh words, the long silence afterward, and the regret he never spoke out loud. Tears began to fall onto the diary. He didn't wipe them away. His hands started shaking as emotions he had been holding back for years finally broke free. He cried quietly, sitting on that bed holding a notebook that carried his son's voice from the past. He cried for the little boy who once needed him for everything. He cried for the man his son had become. He cried because love does not disappear when children grow up. It only changes shape. That evening, he sat alone in the living room with the diary resting on his lap. His wife noticed his red eyes but did not ask questions. She understood. Some moments do not need words. Days passed slowly after that. The diary stayed near him. Sometimes he read it again. Sometimes he just held it, finding comfort in knowing that his efforts had been seen, his love remembered. One evening, his phone rang. It was his son. "Abba, how are you?" the son asked. For the first time, the father answered honestly, "I'm good." There was a small pause before the son asked, "Did you find my old diary?" The father smiled softly and said yes. Another pause followed, then the son said quietly, "I didn't know you kept it." The father replied, "I didn't know I needed it." That night, the father placed the diary back in the cupboard, not as something forgotten, but as something complete. He stood in the doorway of his son's room for a moment. The room was still empty, but his heart felt lighter. He finally understood that children do not leave love behind when they leave home. They carry it forward into their own lives. Lesson: children leave houses, not hearts. A father's love does not end when a son grows up. It continues quietly, living in memories, sacrifices, and the unspoken understanding between them.